So rightly, I want to welcome everyone on this call, everyone who took time off your schedule. I know today we've had a lot of meetings and a lot of presentations, but this is critical to your business. There are two things that happen in your business, and I'm going to share it with you. And this skill called closing is at the heart of your success in this company. Now, if I ask the question, how many of you would like to work for free? Nobody will say they want to work for free. Everybody wants to work for money, right? So, but here's a catch. If you don't learn how to do closing and you don't close, it means you are working for free. You are doing lists, invitations, presentations, and people just go away. You are working for free, and nobody wants to work for free. Everybody wants to work for money. And so closing is the time in this business when you are making money. So understand something. If you don't become a good closer, if you don't become effective at closing, you will not make a lot of money doing this business. So what is closing? Very, very simple. Closing is a process that you use to bring your guest to a decision. You want your guest to get to a place after the presentation where you can get a decision from them. Either they are getting started or not. Either is a yes or a no. So you need, so this process doesn't start when the presentation ends. In fact, if you listen to IMD Stavro, and for double IMD $1 million earner Stavro, he says closing begins the first day you invite the person. Before when you write the person's name in your book, you start closing. So from the time you write the person's name until the time the person sees a presentation, you have been doing what is called minor agreements, minor closings. So you keep closing, you keep helping them. So you help them make small decisions like downloading Zoom, like seeing a presentation. They make all the small decisions to make one small decision at the end. But if you don't get them to get all the green lights on, and it's only at the end that they make a decision, they feel they are making a big decision that they need to go and analyze and think about, because you never involve them in the decision-making process. Okay, so there is an ABC of closing. It's a simple thing. I want you to get this into your mind. ABC of closing is this: always be closing. Always be closing. From the beginning to the invitation, to the presentation, to the validation calls, ABC, always be closing. How are you always closing? One, the number one reason why people don't join your business is because you did not ask them. See, people invite people to see a presentation. You invite guests to the call. Your guest jumps on the call. They see the presentation. And when the presentation ends, you are expecting them to tell you they want to do this. No, they wouldn't. Many people, 90% of people will not naturally come out and say, hey, I finished in the presentation, I want to get started. Most of the people are waiting for you to ask them. I mean, if you think about it, if you see a guy or a girl you like, and you have to, in fact, shoot your shot. You don't say that, oh, I spied her and she spied me, so she will come to me. Or I spied her and he spied me, so he will come to me. Now is the world, now ladies are shooting their shot as much as guys are shooting their. When you see something you want, you go get it. The same thing with your business. When you invite somebody to a presentation, you've got to ask them the closing question. And so get this right. If you do the right thing at the wrong time, you get pain. But if you do the right thing at the right time, you get paid. And in our business, closing is what you need to learn to do at the right time to get paid. Otherwise, you will only get paid. So before the presentation, you do what is called minor agreements. Usually ask the questions. And that is why when you are a presenter on the Zooms or on your personal Zooms, before you do the presentation at the beginning, you ask the three questions. You ask the guests, do you love to travel? Do you love to earn an extra income? Do you love to help people? See, if their answer is no to all three questions, there is no need to train them a presentation, especially when you are doing a presentation for your, let's say, your one guest on your personal Zoom. Okay, you ask them, do you love to travel? They say, no, I don't like to travel. Do you love to earn an extra income? No, I don't want an extra income. Do you like to help people? No, I don't like to help people. Okay, thank you for your time. But if they say yes to any of these, you see, you have begun the closing before the presentation. So minor agreement. So if they say they like to travel, they like to make an extra income, and they like to help people, what you are going to show them, when you get to the end, you come back to what they agreed on. You said you love to travel, now we've got a deal. You say you love to earn an extra income, now we've got a deal. You say you like to help people, now we've got a deal. Are you ready to get started? So you see, you before the presentation, you did minor closings. But when we do a big presentation with 100 guests, we can't wait for everybody to say a yes or a no to us. So usually when you're inviting the person and the person asks, oh, what is it? Don't go on start explaining the product. You can ask them these questions if you want, just to get the minor agreement. And if they say, oh, you love to travel, he says, oh yes, I would love to travel around the world. Awesome. I've got something to share with you. Jump on this Zoom, I'll share it with you. They say, what is it? You say, it's too important for me to give you a gist. Just get on the call and you know. So before they see the presentation, you have begun getting the minor agreements from them. You don't want people to make big decisions. People hesitate when they have to make a big decision because they think it is cardinal, like it's pivotal in their life. You don't want people to get there. You want them to be making small decisions till the end. And so this is what you do before the presentation. And also at the beginning of the presentation, always share your why. Now, I've seen many of our presenters jump on the call and go in straight. My name is Charles Benson, blah, 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 blah. The name of the company is World Ventures. No, people don't buy what you sell. People buy why you sell. And so always share your why. So before you start the presentation, you tell the person why you are doing this. See, you are not looking for the logic in them. You are trying to connect with them emotionally. So, chances are your why may be their why, especially if it's somebody you know who you know is time broke, doesn't have, he and the spouse, somebody has to take care of their children for them to go to work, and you are in the same situation. And that is why you are doing this business, so that you can build an income on the side that begins to pay you over and above your full-time job so that you can have time to spend with your family. Share that why. Always, we call it a 3-step setup. You share your why. You tell them that you are looking for something, you found it, you share your why, and then people will see that, okay, so Charles was time broke. Charles felt his children were in other people's hands. He was looking for an opportunity that would allow him to spend more time with his family, and he found it. Then I've got to pay attention because I am in a similar position, right? And so always share your why. So if you are on this call and you have not written down your why, remember the audio you were listening to when we began. Julia Acosta told you, verbalize it, write it, say it. Your why, you have to put it down and say it. And why is made up of 3 letters. It's an acronym that stands for what hurts you. So look for a pain point that will make you continue doing this. Let me share with you my whys. My boss was one of my why. Any day I went to the office, he wasn't a very nice personality. And I'm not trying to badmouth him, but naturally he wasn't a very nice person. He didn't smile. He was not friendly and stuff like that. So as soon as I get into the office and I see his face, man, this is why I need to make this World Ventures thing work. I can't wait to not have to look at this man's face again. So you see, it was a pain point I gave myself that kept me going. And so I never got comfortable sitting in my office because my why, the office is one of my whys. So every day I went to work and we had a bad day, some bad emails are flying around, people who are supposed to assume responsibility, pushing blame, and some of us having to go and answer queries that we knew nothing about. I used that as fuel. See, the things that were hurting me ended up becoming my fuel that fueled why I did this business. So when all of those things happen, instead of sitting down and feeling hopeless and helpless, I said, this is why I need to invite people to see World Ventures. So I go on a rampage, make a new list, invite people and share with them World Ventures. And so get yourself a why that keeps you going. I don't know your situation. Maybe you love your job. You have so much fulfillment in your job. Great. Find something that brings you pain for which you want to do World Ventures to alleviate that pain and work and always keep that in remembrance. Always write it down and put it on your wall. Every day you see it, you know, I'm not stopping WV. I'm not letting any objection get to me until I get over this why. And so people don't buy what you sell, they buy why you sell. Think about it also this way. How many of you have gone to buy a car or a product from somebody and you have not asked the question, why are you selling? I remember when I bought my first Honda Accord, there were 2 cars. My wife liked another car and I liked the Honda Accord. We went to see the 2 sellers and we asked them, why are you selling your car? The first person was like, oh, I've driven it, I'm tired, I want a new car and I just want to sell. The second one who was selling their car was like, man, I am late on some payments to the bank. They are threatening to possess my house. My family is getting desperate. You know, we may not have a place to lay our heads. I need to sell the car to raise funds to pay for my loans with the bank so that my family will have a place to stay. Guess whose car we bought? We bought the one who was in need, who we felt when we exchanged money for the car, it was going to bless him. So we bought a why. We knew the what already. The what is a car. And he's not the only one who sells a car. But chances are the why is why we bought from him. And so always people buy why and not what. So always share your why. Okay. And so after the presentation, you have to ask the right question. One of the nicest ways to ask the right question is after presentation, you just pick the phone, call the friend, and you say, hey, and then you put your friend's name there. And then you ask, as an idea, did you like it? And guess what? This is where you give yourself a traffic light. Okay. You are looking for green. As soon as they say no, I didn't like it as an idea, you don't need to proceed. Okay. You say, thank you for your time. I appreciate that you saw the presentation. Maybe we'll see one another one day in the future. Thank you for seeing the presentation. Bye-bye. Boom. Okay. So if they didn't like it, what is there to close? See, we only close those who are closeable. And everybody is not closeable because some people don't have open minds. So don't go out of your way. We are not apostles. We are not evangelists. We don't go convincing people against their will. We are not trying to convert doubters into people of faith, of network. No. See, if you have to convince anybody and bend backwards to get anybody to join this business, they will not do anything, no matter what you think. So you are not looking for people who are not closeable to close them. You are looking for people who, when they finished in the presentation, remember, before the presentation, you asked them, did you love to travel? Did you love to make money? Did you love to help people? They said yes to one of these three questions. So if they said yes, and after the presentation, they say they don't like it, what are you closing? There is nothing to close. But if they give you a yes, boom, green light. And guess what? You ask the next question, which is, are you ready to get started? So that is closing. You ask, hey, as a concept, as an idea, did you love what you just saw? And always, phone calls work effectively because they can feel your excitement, they can feel your energy. And the presenter has already invested and done a powerful closing of the presentation. The presenter at the end got emotional, got on their emotional side, tried to get them to make a decision, get in touch with you, and give you an answer to get started. So the presenter, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, the presenter has pushed the person to an 8. You need to put in the next 2 to get to a 10 to get the person to get started. And so you ask the question, hey, as an idea, did you love it? They say, yes. They say, wonderful. Are you ready to get started? Now, once they said yes, and you ask this question, anything else they say, you're going to agree with them and you're going to resolve. Okay, because they've already told you that they like it, right? So now, are you ready to get started? They say, oh, but I no get time. Okay, but I no get money. Okay, but I don't know. All those things, you are going to agree with them because they already like it. But now they are going to give you objections, things that you can resolve. Okay, so those are objections that we are going to resolve. So today we're going to walk through some of the objections. And whenever they ask a question, understand that they have the 4 layers of every question. The first thing you need to do is when they give you an objection, understand one thing. Don't always accept it at first go. People naturally lie. So the average person, instead of them saying no to you straight, they feel when they say no, they will hurt your feelings. So they are going to look for a nice lie to dodge you. So that is when they begin to throw objections. Okay. So when somebody gives you an objection, first thing you have to do is confirm whether the objection is real. And typically, people lie when they speak. Macaseta will teach you that. How do you know somebody is lying? Watch them open their mouth. People open their mouth and the first thing they do is lie. So don't always assume and accept that the objection they give you firstly is real. Okay, you need to stand up to them, and that is called posture. So they said, oh, I don't have money. You need to confirm. So are you really sure that you don't have money? Or are you looking at it's just a nice way of you saying no to me? So you have to confirm whether the objection is real. Okay, confirm that first. Then when you confirm, and then like I did, you ask a question. So you are saying that you don't have $150 in your account right now to get started up as a gold member, correct? And let them confirm. Let them tell you, yes, I don't have money. Okay. The third thing is when you ask the question, shut up and listen. Because when you listen, you will find out the real reason why they threw that objection. You don't need to say another word until they speak. So confirm the objection, ask a question, and listen to them. And 4, you're going to close the objection for them. Okay. You let them understand that nothing is ever the same way it is. So if you are eating whipped cream and it's dropped on the floor, you don't leave it there for a year. So somebody says, I don't have money today. It doesn't mean that they're not going to have money for the rest of their lives or they're not going to have money next week. So usually the things they are going to say that are for today, next week, the situation may have changed. Next month, the situation may have changed. Next quarter, the situation may have changed. So nothing is ever going to stay the same. So you have to let them also understand that, okay, you say you don't have money right now, but I know that you're going to receive salary on date X, date Y. Can we do it? So you always let them know that the whipped cream that is dropped on the floor during the party doesn't stay there forever. It doesn't remain there all year. And so that objection, we can clean it up. We can find a way around it. And so always posture yourself and do this whenever they throw objections. Now we're going to look at the objections that they usually throw. Here's the first objection people naturally give. I don't have time. And usually this is true. When people tell you they don't have time, truth is they don't have time. But your goal is to figure in where they can fix the time. Okay, so if you have done if you didn't have time and you did this anyway, share with them your journey. You can tell them, I didn't have time too. But guess what? My leader helped me. He taught me how I can do 1 hour every day consistently for 6 months. And so if are you saying that you don't have time? If I show you how you can manage and I can help you create some 1 hour a day consistently for 6 months, are you ready to get started? Okay, so like I told you, once they said a yes, and are you ready to get started? Everything they say, you're going to agree. So when they say they don't have time, agree with them that it's true, they don't have time. And then help them, ask them if you help them find a way around it and you create time to do this, are they willing to get started? And always, whenever you resolve the objection, ask the closing question again. Are you ready to get started? Every time you resolve an objection, ask the closing question. Because they have to give you a decision. The second objection they usually throw is no money to start. They don't have the money. Now, this is the most common objection. And this one, again, confirm whether it is real. Ask them, do you really want to do this? Yes. And are you really honest when you say you don't have the money? Or are you just trying to find a nice way of saying no to me? Because if it's a no, just say it to me. You don't have to go around. When they say, oh, true, I don't have the money, then you sell them a silver. Okay, so let's find a way. First, let's see if they are truly telling the truth, and most of the time they are lying. Everybody has money for the things that are important. And I mean, you may disagree with me, but no matter how hard it is, anybody working for any proper company has at least $25. So if gold is a high entry and at that time they don't have the $150 to get started on gold, sell them a silver. Instead of taking a no, sell a silver. And then, you can tell them, okay, you don't have the money. Let's strategize and let's find out figure out how you can raise money. Nobody has actually built a business with their own money. The most successful entrepreneurs, they have learned how to raise money. So if I show you how we can raise money for you to start a business so that you can work and pay that money, are you ready to get started? See, you have to get to the bottom of the lie for them to tell you, okay, now they may ask you how you're going to say, tell them that's not their problem. How the money is going to be raised is not a problem. Ask them, if I help you raise money right now, and we're able to raise $25 or $150 or $300, are you ready to get started? If they say yes, boom, then show them what they need to do. And I don't know, get creative. Show them how you raise money to get started. Me, how I raised money was I sold my wife's laptop. Harold, how he raised money was he borrowed money. Cheska, how she raised money was she borrowed money. A lot of leaders have gone through experiences where they didn't have money when they saw the opportunity and they traded something and raised the money to do it, or they borrowed and raised the money to do it. So ask them the question first. If you help them raise the money, are they willing to get started? They say yes, then show them how you did it. and then get them to follow it if they are really serious about doing this. The other objection the people naturally give is, I don't know anybody. And you can ask them a few questions, like how many people are in your phone right now? How many friends are on your Facebook? Okay. And so they have friends on Facebook, they have friends in their contact list, they have people following them on Instagram, etc. And they say they don't know anybody. Then that shows you that that is not an objection. So you get to the bottom, ask them what really is the problem? What is the real objection? Because what you are saying, of course, is not true. You are friends with people on Facebook who you don't even know. So, I mean, you've got a pool of people you have access to if you are serious about doing this. So what really is the question? What really is stopping you from doing this? And usually when you go beyond, you find out the real reason why they are not willing to do it. And it has nothing to do with the objection they are giving you. The next one is and this is very, very popular. People who think network marketers are callous and a bunch of people that just step. I'm trying to find the right adjective to describe it. They are nuisance because they are friends and family. They will keep bargaining with products. And so they have seen that experience from their friends who have done network marketing, bargaining them to buy or sell something or Tafri BB, Noom BB, DBB. They don't want to be like that. Okay. So if that is how your friend is feeling, if that is the objection they are giving you, awesome. Tell them this. You're going to teach them how to do it right. Usually you tell them, what if I can teach you how we do this in a professional way so that you don't end up bugging your family and friends, like how I didn't bug you to see this presentation. Okay. And so what you see, you can, and then if I help you to do that, are you ready to get started? Then you see whether they really want to do it or it's just a lie that they are trying to tell you to avoid saying a no directly to you. And so usually this comes from their minds and this is not real. And I always ask them the question, if I had prejudged you that I was going to be a bother to you and a bug to you and I didn't share this opportunity with you, how would you treat me if I didn't share this thing that you have called a blessing today that you like so much? Now, do you know how many of your friends are waiting for this opportunity also, who you are not sharing with, or you may not share with because you think you may be bugging them? So always use the feel, felt, found. You feel the same way. You feel what you're saying. You feel the same way. You found a way around it. Right. The other one is I have to think about it. Remember, this one is not an objection. And this one, there is no question to answer. So this one, you have to keep asking questions until you find the real objection. If they say they are going to think about it, ask them, what exactly are you going to think about? The travel, the business, making money, the foundation helping people, or what? Because there's really something that is, and the truth is, see, nobody sees a presentation and goes home and their spouse is waiting for them in bed and their spouse calls them to come to bed and they say, no, I can't come to bed. I'm thinking about wall benches. Nobody thinks about it. If they want to do it, they will do it. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. So really get them to tell you exactly what they are going to think about, so that if it's something you have to reason it together, you help them in the thinking process. So you have to ask questions exactly what they are going to think about, for them to tell you exactly what they're going to think, so that if it's something you can reason with them on, you reason with them on. But like I said, you agree with them first. Okay. So I'm going to think about it and say, you know what? I understand what you're saying. When I saw the presentation, I also wanted to go and think about it. But I found that, listen, as I'm going to think about it, if it takes me 2 weeks to think about it and I'm going to say yes to it anyway, in that 2 week period, I would have missed out on leverage. All the people who would have ended up in my business, if I had said yes today, I'm going to miss out on them if I say yes 2 weeks from today. So why don't I get started now and do the thinking? Because I mean, those people are going to still be in my business anyway. And after a month or two, if I don't want to do is, I'm not tied to any long-term contract. I can exit anytime I want. And so what is there to go think about when you can get started and you can get out of it anytime you want? There's nothing to think about. So always, this is not an objection. There's a question, a deeper objection under. So ask questions and you'll get to that. And this is another one that people usually say, I'm not good at sales. I can't sell. 95% of the people in the world believe that they can't sell. And this is a very good one. Okay, this is a very good one. When they say they can't sell, I agree with them. The truth is that none of us has a background in sales. I'm not a salesperson. I don't have a degree in sales. I don't have training in sales from anywhere in the world. And the truth is, salespeople, most of them, they don't translate well to network marketing. Why? Because they are going to bring their sales knowledge from the classroom to try to use it to build this opportunity. And they don't end up being coachable. They don't listen to the training. They don't listen to the leaders, and they want to do it their old school way of whatever they are selling with whichever bank or institution they are working with. So tell them, fantastic. Salespeople never translate well to network marketing. And we've always got to understand that. I'm glad you're not a salesperson. Now, if you are willing to learn, I'll teach you how we do this, because none of us is a salesperson. Okay. So this one is a very good one. When they throw it at you, you can always show them how you are also not a salesperson, but have been able to do this business. And there's another one. I have to ask my spouse. If the person is usually married, and I'll share this with you. If you are inviting somebody to see a presentation and you know that they are married, and it's possible, ask them to see the presentation with their spouse. Okay, ask them, if you didn't know that they were married, fine. But if you know that they are married, ask them to always see the presentation with their spouse first. Then when they see it together, there is no, I'm going to ask my spouse objection anymore. You've taken that away. Okay, so that one may not want to do it, but the other may want to do it. Or one may want to do it, but it's slow. The other may drive them to take action. Okay, so usually when they ask you, I have to ask my spouse, tell them, awesome. But don't allow them to tell their spouse. Set up a time where you can do the presentation for their spouse. Because the truth is this, they have just seen the presentation. They don't even understand the product offering. They don't understand the value. They have not been trained in how to share the information. So how are they going to explain it to their spouse for the spouse to understand? They are going to do it basa, 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 and end up, in fact, their spouse is going to end up discouraging them because the spouse didn't understand it. No, so tell them, you know what, you have not been trained in how to share the information. So why don't you set up your husband or your wife to see our next presentation at 8 o'clock or at 12:30 or at 3 o'clock so that I share it with the person, right? So you take the burden of responsibility and you show the presentation to their spouse also. So that exactly what you show to the first person, you show to the second person. Now both of them can make a decision because they've been trained by somebody who knew how to share the information, right? Good. But usually how I resolve this objection is when somebody says I have to ask my spouse, I say, why don't we surprise your spouse? Why don't we get started, help you make money, then you can go show the money to your spouse. That you join a business. Before COVID-19, what I will tell you is why don't we start getting you money, then you can book a dream trip, you can book a vacation and surprise your spouse with a vacation. And so that's how I used to do it. But now we can't travel. And so you can't tell the person, let's book a vacation and surprise your spouse with it, right? So always tell them that you are the one, you want to be the one to share the information with their spouse for them, right? And this one, when people ask how much money, they want to know how much money you have made or how much money you are making. This question is really from a place of, they want to be sure whether they can make money, because if you are not making money, they cannot make money. So they are projecting your success or failure on them. So there's no question to answer here. So understand the psychology of this question. Ask them, are you saying that if I'm not making money, you won't make money? Or are you saying that if I'm making money, you make money? Because you can come into this business and make more money than I do, or less money than I do. It has nothing to do with me. So my income doesn't do anything to you. So really, there is no question to answer. And so don't fall into the trap of answering this question. Really, the person wants to know, is projecting. The person is just projecting either your success or failure on them. And there is no question to answer here. So get to it and let them know that their success or failure is entirely up to their their skills and effort. It has nothing to do with whether you are making money or not. But if you are an MD, a director, and you've made a lot of money, and you want to share your money, that is your problem. But the policy of the company doesn't allow us to do income disclosure to people. Okay, so because nobody comes to show you their paycheck. Okay, that person who's asking how much money you've made doesn't show he doesn't even know his boss's paycheck, and yet he believes his boss is getting paid more than him. And still, when you ask him to help to make money, he wants to know how much money you're making. So they are trying to project their failure and success on you. disassociate it immediately and tell them that their success or failure depends on them. But what you've got is a blueprint that you're going to teach them so that they can actually go out there and build a business. And you can use the ESB, the Expansion Success Blueprint, use the focus board and show them how in 120 days they can build a business to director. But don't go into all of that before they get started. Okay. Tell them, if you trust me, I'm ready to get started. When we get started, I'll teach you. There's a 120-day plan to director where you can build a business, and in 120 days, you can get to a business that pays you up to $2,000 a month. And it has nothing to do with me. It has all to do with you. Okay. Then the next one, how long have you done it? And this is also not a question. Ask them to tell you what they're really thinking. Because how long have I done it? What difference does it make? What if I saw this today and I'm going to show it with 1,000 people and you're the first person I want to share it with? Will it make a difference? Well, I mean, if it doesn't, the longevity is not an indicator of anything. So really, when they ask this question, there is a real question, objection that they are hiding from, and they are just trying to find a way around it. So don't get caught up in answering this question, because there really isn't a question here. Ask them to tell you what they are really thinking. Okay, if they are thinking that it's one of those things that you go into the next 3 months is off, maybe that is what they are really thinking. Let them actually say that to you so that you resolve that objection properly. Okay, don't let them lead you down the rabbit hole. And then this is another popular one. This is a pyramid one, that the only people at the top are making money. This is also a very ignorant question. Tell them, okay, if it's true that only the people at the top make money, then let's get your organization started today with you at the top. Are you ready? There's a very, very simple answer to give them. Because today, when they get started, they are at the top of whichever pyramid they are going to build. So if only people at the top are making the money, let's get you started. You are at the top of your organization today. Let's make you money. Are you ready to get started? So this one, don't waste time on it. Don't try to prove to them that it's binary or blah, blah, blah. Remember what I told you earlier, posture. Understand that closing is more psychological than anything else. Posture, if you know you've got a deal and you can't sell what you don't believe in. So if the only reason why you are doing World Ventures is to make money, you'll not be able to close people well. Because if you don't believe in the Dream Trips product, if you don't believe in the foundation, if you don't believe that you can make money, if you don't have that undying belief in what you're selling, and we say it this way, if you're not a product of the product, you can't have the posture to sell it. So most of you, because of COVID-19, you have not experienced a dream trip, you've not attended a training event, you've not met the leadership, you've not made any money yet, so you don't know what you're selling. But posture, the attitude always comes before the paycheck. So behave like you are already there. Behave like you're an MD, an RMD, and always close people with that confidence and with that posture. So that, I mean, they know that, I mean, even if they say no to you, they'll be thinking, man, that guy is so confident. I don't know what he sees in that thing. Okay. And yeah, I like this one too. When people say, oh, I tried something like this, I did network marketing, there was this company I did and it didn't work. And so because of that, I don't want to do these things again. Ask them questions. Again, confirm it, get to the bottom of it. Ask them, what did you do? Did you have leadership? What was the business? And show them why you will be different. So what they did, if it's different from what we are doing, tell them, of course, we are different. Did they have leadership? If the person didn't find a support structure, mentorship, leaders that help him, show him how you'll be different. What was the business? Show him how you're different. I remember I resolved this for one guy in Takoradi. He called and was like, he did one network marketing and the company collapsed. So because of that, he's very, very skeptical about network marketing. Let me share with you how I resolved it. I asked him, have you saved money with a bank before? He said, yes. I said, what if you save money with a bank and the bank collapses? I asked him, do banks collapse? He said, yes. I said, okay, you save money with one bank and the bank collapses. Will you say that all banks are scams and so you never save money in the bank again? Or you never do investments with the bank again? He said, no. I said, exactly. So don't say because you failed with one network marketing company, all network marketing companies are not legitimate. It's an industry. They are good seeds and bad seeds. They are good companies and bad companies. Maybe you join a company where the leadership, the structure and the mentorship wasn't up to scratch. But it doesn't mean that every company is like that in the industry. If you are willing to do this business, partner with us. If it come, and I told them, I always tell them, I'm going to compare this with banks. There are banks where the owner takes money anytime they want, and so it can collapse. And there are banks where they have proper management, where no single person can come in and put his hand in and take money. And those banks have stood for hundreds of years. We are a company that is like the banks that have stood the test of time. So you don't have to say that because I save with this savings and loans or this investment company or this bank and it collapse, I keep my money in the house. I don't save with the bank anymore. You can't do that. And so, yes, when people tell you about their previous experience with another network marketing company, always look for ways to show them how we are different, and always come back to the closing question: are you ready to get started? Okay. And then somebody says, "Oh, I already have a good job." Okay. Then it means they didn't understand what network marketing is offering. They didn't understand residual income. They don't understand the value of what we're offering them, or they have so much fulfillment with what they are doing. And ask them the question: if they truly love their job, and if they do, let them go. The timing is not right for them. Okay. There are a lot of people who, at the time you may show them the presentation, they have just gotten a promotion, they have gotten a pay raise, they've just gotten a new car from the company, which is not theirs. They've just been bought a car, they are driving the day they are fired, it's taken for them. They've received a new iPhone from the company, they have a corner office with a great view, and they've bought new suits. So they are so excited about the job right now, they don't want to look at anything else. You don't have to hustle it, let them go. But as you will learn from your first year in network marketing, keep them in your book, track them. 6 months later, get in touch, find out how they are doing. Chances are situations may have changed. Okay, and then they may be more willing to look at the opportunity then. So if you have people who after the presentation say they have good jobs and you find out that they truly love their job, let them go. We wish the best for them, but a day may come when they be dissatisfied with that job and they may want to look at the opportunity again. Okay. And then another objection, when people say I'm not the networking type, and this is usually funny. What does a networking type look like? Is it a personality? So that, get to the bottom, ask them questions for them to tell you exactly what they mean by who is a networking type. Because nobody's walking around as a networking type. Okay, so there's a real objection they are not bringing forward. They are just trying to find a nice way of saying no. So ask questions and get to the bottom of it and get to the real objection and resolve it. Okay. Now this is the worst one. When people say I don't like people. Anybody who says this to you doesn't want to see a presentation or doesn't want to do the business. Simply let them go. It's not for them. If anybody doesn't like people, they can't do any people business. They are just lying to you. Just let them go. Okay. So after the presentation, people will buy from you because they like you or they want to be like you. So you have to be likable. So in all of this, as you have posture and as you have confidence and as you have mastered your subject matter, always be likable. Don't get aggressive, don't get defensive, and don't get offensive. So when you get offensive and defensive, you don't only lose a customer, you chase them away. And so you have to still be nice, be a gentleman or a lady, say thank you for your time. Some people will even sign up and the next day they will call it that they want to quit. Be nice to them, help them quit, let them leave you and go. Because chances are they are going to watch you. And some of them are going to watch you long enough, they're going to call you and want to come back. Because they don't believe it's going to work until they see that it's working. And naturally, there are people who are like that. So that is one thing I need to learn. And also get this. Most of us, this is our conception about failure and success. So this is you in the middle. You think that there are some things you do that bring you failure, and there are other things you do that bring you success. In fact, if you read some of the best books I've read, this is not a diagram at all. In fact, this is what school taught us. There is a right way and a wrong way, right? And so all of us are trying to do the things that bring us success and avoiding the things that bring us failure. In any real business in life, in anything of value, this is actually how the diagram is. You are going to have to go through failure to get to success. First, failure is in the equation of success. Failure is the road that leads to success. And a lot of successful people have spoken extensively and have said this. Example, Will Smith, who has repeatedly said this. Fail early, fail often, and fail forward. What does it mean to fail early? It means if people are going to reject you, people are going to say no to you, if your first 20 presentations are going to be no, why are you slowing down? Why are you doing one presentation a day? Why are you showing one guest a day when you have to show 50 people to get one to say yes? It means you are going to go to 50 days of miserable life. Why don't you put 50 people on one presentation so that all of them will say no, then the next day you put another 50, then you get your first yes. So you have to be fast. You have to go through the numbers quickly. So fail early, do it quickly. Go through the numbers, next. So if you put 5 people on the call, as soon as the call ends, call first person, close, get a decision, ready to get started. They say yes, awesome, send me your details, let's get you in right now, send me this, send me that, send me that. Oh no, this is not for me, thank you for your time, I hope to see you. Pim, drop the call, next, call the next person. Hey, ready to, that was exciting, wasn't it, as an idea? Do you love it? They say yes, I love it. Are you ready to get started? No. Okay, why don't you want to get started right now? What is the problem? Oh, I don't have money. Oh, what if I help you raise money? Are you ready to get started? They say yes. Awesome. I'll call you and show you how to raise the money right now. I'll be with you in a second. Call the next person. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Early. Don't slow. Don't slow. And you're going to have to fail so many times. Now, some of you think that some of us are successful because we have not been rejected or we have not failed. If we share our journey with you, we don't think some of you will begin your journey. Because you need the process to the top is you take the blocks of rejection, the blocks of mockery, the blocks of failure that people throw at you and use it to build a ladder and you climb up on. That is what is called failing forward. You have to keep moving forward. You have to keep showing. And Winston Churchill says, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. You know what that means? Some of us, when somebody says no, before we call the next person, we've already lost enthusiasm. Our energy is gone. We're already feeling terrible. We're already feeling down. So we call the next person. In fact, some of us won't even call the next person because the one we were so hopeful was going to say yes, they didn't say yes. So now we don't know what we are going to do. So we don't even bother calling the others because as for them, we have already told ourselves they will say no. See, the best way to do this business is to make sure that no matter the responses of people don't get to you. So their yeses and nos don't determine your enthusiasm. You do it the same way you would do it, whether they say yes or no. And so Churchill and all these people who have gone through life and have built countries, gotten countries to win wars, to bring freedom to their people, he is telling you that he had to stumble from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that is how he got to success. And Napoleon Hill also says, most great people have attained their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failures. What does it mean? It means that failure and success, they work hand in hand. You are going to go through one to get to the other. And so, when business is hard for you, it's not a time to take the feet off the pedal and go get distracted with another thing. No, you have to keep doing what was bringing you the failure because it will lead you to success. Forget about what you were taught in school. People call Michael Jordan great. If you watch go on YouTube, type Michael Jordan failed basketball shots. If you know how many buzzer beater shots, last second shots he has taken for Chicago Bulls, he didn't sing those shots, that they lost those matches. You would be amazed. Why is he called? Why is he called the greatest? And he will tell you, it's because I kept shooting and missing, but I was scoring too. And he makes this quote here that he can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but he can't accept not trying. So I don't know what else to say. So this is the final definition of success I'm going to give you. Success is 99% failure. So people don't really see you winning. People don't see it coming. Everybody thinks boom, boom, boom. Then overnight, suddenly they say you are an overnight success because you are not successful all the way through. In fact, you are never on the radar until you make it, and suddenly somebody thought you made it overnight. They didn't know that you had been failing forward. So success is 99% failure. I need all of us, our attitude to be at the right place. And we always need the attitude before the paycheck, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's going to do this for us. Getting rich, if it was easy, trust me, everybody will be a millionaire. Getting rich is the hardest job you're going to do. What this company gives us is a vehicle that allows us to build something that affords us freedom, that over time creates a residual income and gives us time and money freedom. That is what you should be focused on working at and working and building on. So from my end to you, it's been a pleasure. Today we've had a lot of meetings. Thank you for jumping on this call. I hope we close our deals tomorrow better. I hope we take this training into implementation mode and we make it happen. God bless you all and have a good evening.